All right, hi everyone. Today we are talking about all things garden design and highlighting a different type of artist. Piet Oudolf is a Dutch garden designer, nurseryman, and author. Starting off with maybe his most famous design, this is one I enjoy every time I'm in New York. The Highline is an urban park and walking path situated on a former New York Central Railroad path on the west side of Manhattan. What was once an abandoned area, as we can see on the left, has been redesigned as a quote, living system, drawing from multiple disciplines, which include landscape architecture, urban design, and ecology. Repurposing the railway into an urban park began in 2006 and opened in phases during 2009, 2011, and 2014. As you can see, or if you've been to the Highline yourself, you know that it's a great example of breathing new life into a practical walkway, but also one of beauty and tranquility above the bustling streets of New York City. This is Udolph Field at the Hauser and Wirth Gardens and Gallery in Somerset, England. The area is flanked on three sides by an existing hedge, giving a real garden feel versus kind of a more open pasture. Nature, time, and art are Udolph's main inspirations. Several different planting concepts form the structure to his plan. He says that, quote, "For me, garden design isn't just about plants. It's about emotion, atmosphere, a sense of contemplation. You try to move people with what you do." So he is a true artist. Here's another Hauser and Wirth location on the Spanish island of Minorca. The building was a decommissioned English Navy hospital from 1711. Udolph's garden at Hauser and Wirth, Minorca, runs alongside the gallery buildings, and it's divided into two main borders. In the midst of Isla del Rey's wildlife, the acclaimed landscape designer has applied his perennial planting scheme to a Mediterranean context. He says, quote, "When I first visited Minorca, I was inspired by how periods of flowering spread throughout the year, which makes the garden interesting at all seasons." Back to a big city, here we have the Lurie Garden, which is a public city garden in the heart of Chicago. It's a 2.5 acre garden filled with perennials, bulbs, native prairie grasses, shrubs, and trees. Piet Oudolf is a leading figure of the new perennial movement, using bold drifts of herbaceous perennials and grasses, which are chosen at least as much for their structure as for their flower color. In horticultural terms, a perennial is used to differentiate a plant from shorter-lived annuals and biennials. It's defined as a plant that lives more than 2 years. The Tokyo Garden is Udolph's first garden design in Asia. It's located in suburban Tokyo, and it's associated with the Yomiuri Land Amusement Park. The garden also features an indoor flower pavilion, as seen on the left, that includes living chandeliers. We've talked about the Venice Biennale many times in our art talks, the famed cultural institution and exhibition beginning in 1865. Udolph's plantings were entered as part of the Architectural Biennale in 2010. Il Giardino del Vergini was noted as a subtle, impressionistic, yet carefully orchestrated garden. The garden is seen as a performance throughout time as the different flowers and plants bloom throughout the year. Udolph can also be commissioned for private residences. Here is a terrace overlooking West Broadway in Manhattan, slightly smaller than maybe some of his usual parks and gardens, but still with the similar use of perennials and native species. Here's a gorgeous modern house in New Hampstead, Netherlands. The house was designed by architect Bart Vos, and the complementing gardens and landscape, of course, by Udolph. Finally, we'll end with this private residence in Megen, Switzerland. Here we can really see how the shape of the garden complements the lines of the home and also adds warmth and color to a very modern structure. Thanks, everyone. I hope you enjoyed seeing some of Piet Oudolph's beautiful garden designs.